going to jump on and say this is horrible. All right, we'll turn up the sound a little bit. Let's see, we're not on yet. Hopefully we're on. Are we live? Hey, we're live. So let's, whoops, that's the one I want. Can you hear us? It sounds like we're okay. We send the pro to New Orleans and we get stuck with the amateur hour here in the studio. So hopefully, somebody said, oh, uh-oh, Lisa sees me and hears me. Definitely amateur hour. She knows it, but she's not allowed to say too much because she's nice. So let's see. So Jim is in the house. Jim Shea, that is. So we got Jim Wiggins down in New Orleans with Rick working the National Shooting Sports Foundation Range Retailer Show. So we got a number of our customers down in that part of the country. We do a lot of range and retailers. We have, I think, 120 of our Patriot displays out there. So exciting to be down there. Oh, Russ says hi. I'm good. No, Jim can stand here and talk guns for 3 hours. Me, not so much. How are we doing, Mr. Russ? Good to see ya. We're gonna have a little fun today. Since I can't stand here and talk guns for a long time, I certainly can't do any assembly activities. We're gonna go out on the shop floor because I give shop floor tours, so I can do that. And so Myra and I just walked the floor to make sure we got an idea where we're gonna go. And hopefully I turned off the Wi-Fi so we won't. Last time we tried it once and we had issues with Wi-Fi, so now we're just going on the cellular signal, which should be good. Trying to think what else we got to talk about. Jimmy will be back tomorrow night, so it'll be fun to see what cool stuff he got to see. I know there's a number of the folks that we see at the different shows that are there, and it's not quite like Crazy SHOT Show where you can actually spend some time with some folks and get to see some of the new stuff that they're doing. And I know he'll be talking about eating down in New Orleans. He was talking about crocodile bites on his way down. So I know he and Rick went out last night. They sent a picture of a sign near a restaurant called Rick's. They were going to buy the restaurant since it's got the perfect sign for Rick. They decided it got too late. They didn't have time to go do that. So, but I know they're going out to dinner with one of our customers down there, Marcus and his crew from Brothers LA Arms. They have a signature series handguard that's pretty sweet. You'll see some pictures coming up, I'm sure, in the next week or so as we get to see them down there and going through their stuff. So cool. Well, let's see. I think we ought to get to it. So be patient with us as we get on the road. We're going to try not to cause any trip hazards. I'm going to put my safety glasses on and hopefully not interfere with my ability to talk to the camera. So Myra's going to try and keep me somewhat on the screen. Good luck with that, Myra. She's backing up, so we'll not run into the door. And then we'll go out to the shop floor. So hopefully you can still see me. Myra, you're going to have to look at the comments. It's a little loud out here. Whoops, we don't want her to get taken out. Can you see me, Myra? All right. Dio's he's a little shy, this guy. All right, can you see me, Myra, or no? All right, now you got to come over here so you can see what's going on. We'll just let you loop around. There we go. You got to keep pointing at me, though. All right, so Dio's very shy, so don't look at him at all, right? So we send these crates of handguards. So there's 25 in a crate. I don't know if you can see that, Myra. So, right, we got milk crates with downspout material holding 25 pieces at a time. So that's the lots that travel around the shop. They go up and they get loaded on the machine so we can do the ends so that we can get them loaded into the fourth axis. So that operation, having those centers be right is important. This extrusion, it tends to twist and stuff, so we got to hold it so that we can make sure the ends are perpendicular and align with each other so that when you're attaching it to the upper and this is where your sights are lined up, right? So we got to make sure that's straight and true, otherwise we're in big trouble. So we want to do that now. We're going to swing around. So that's where the handguards start. They start from that extrusion. And then we look down, kind of handguard row, handguard alley, whatever we want to call it. So we got machines lined up. I think we may have done this tour the last time right after we arranged all these machines like that. But so we'll look at a couple of them. So again, we start. So this is the end work that's done on one of these. So we face the one end, and then we put the barrel nut bore in, do some of the end work to make sure that the alignment tabs are there, and there's the handguard, right? So again, we're holding it at the ends. It gets rotated around like this, and gets all the work done at one time. So I got to put everything back where I got it, or I get in big trouble, and I don't like getting in big trouble with these guys. We're going to come down here. The next one, you know, one of our favorites is Grendel Hunter. Pretty sweet looking handguard. Now this one is unique because the end, right, so there's nothing cut here because that end will get cut off. His has a nice sloping angle on the front, which is pretty cool. So that'll be an extra operation outside the machine, and another machine that takes that off. This is a long version. We'll see another version of his running down here. Let's keep going, Myra. Oh, here's the other one. So this is a little bit shorter. Again, another Grendel Hunter one. The end cuts off there, pretty cool. I think the next machine will be able to see a little better inside it. Can we see in the side? Oh, yeah, see? So this one, you know, is handguard. Alignment tabs on this one are right along the inside of the Picatinny rail. And Myra, you can get a good look in here. Right, so we clean the window before the show. Pretty good, right? So again, both the fourth axis ends are being held, so making sure those are parallel and in line with each other, or on center line. Right now it looks like it's doing some of the engraving. It may be close to the end of that cycle. Or is it just filling in that pocket? I'm not sure. We'll let it go here for a second. It's hard because I can't see if you guys got any questions because we don't have a screen here to watch. So we're going to stall for just a second to see if it flips around. You'll see the fourth axis move as soon as it's done doing what it's doing. It's about to, oh, there it goes. So now it's doing some of the end work. So it clears that out. And it's doing a little clearance cut for the saw. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Oh, it's doing the bottom row of the triangle. So that's going to be there a while. But so, again, most of the work gets done inside the fourth axis to make the handguard the cool look that you're looking at. All right? Oh, let's spin around real quick, Myra. That's a big bucket of chips right there, right? So that's all coming off making handguards. Very fluffy. Don't recommend using it to pack your kids' play stuff, right? My mother-in-law teaches at preschool. She used to say, oh, those chips would be so cool. Not so much. All right, so down here, so let's see, Mr. Riley. We got a handguard. We can demonstrate how we deburr the inside, right? So there's burrs on the inside when we cut them. He's doing a little touching up to the ends, some of the stuff that we can't do in the machine. And then he's going to show us how we do a little Scotch-Brite there, get everything clean. All right, we got one more. There we go. All right, then he's gonna, oh, he's got one more to be deburr there. So the different spots where we get intersected. Could you put it on this thing real quick, just to demonstrate how that's done? Right, so it goes on there, gets the inside, gets the burrs off the inside, which is pretty important. All right, one other that we want to show, Myra, we didn't see the first time we walked around. So we got our, ooh, let's see if there's any that aren't done. We're almost at the end of the box, right? So here's our ARV handguard, which is, this is the 5-inch version. Pretty sweet. Starts with a different extrusion than our other one. You know, we do the end work and then we bring it over and do that finished cut. Pretty sweet. You know, from the one side you can't see that there's, I mean, there's no, you know, there's no holes for the attachment. Pretty cool. All right, I got to put it back where I got it or I get in big trouble. So that's cutting on there. You can't really see very well. All right, we'll keep going down here. Thank you, Mr. Riley. We got one more handguard running down here. Oops, she's catching up to me. Hopefully you can still hear me. We got one handguard running down here. Can they still see me? You think? Still says we're live? Says there's people on? All right. So we're going to swing around here. So we got 2 wire EDM machines. This is where we do all of our trigger parts. So we're going to not let Myra run in anything. Oh, and it stopped. Oh, wait, it's doing its thing. Oh, this is cool. So come on over here, Myra. So this is a wire, and it's just getting started. It feeds in, and it's super electrified so now it's a 10,000 diameter wire that goes in, and it goes through a hole, connects to the other side, and then it burns steel or whatever we're cutting. So here, we'll show you over here, Myra. So we have a plate that looks like this that we pre-drill to make triggers. So I don't know how easy that is to see. Maybe if I go like that, you can see the different triggers. Again, we're trying to arrange them. Here's the trigger itself, right? So an unusual shape, we're trying to maximize the number of triggers that goes on here. The wire, no cutting force because it's literally burning the parts, super accurate, which is really important when we got a drop-in trigger. So we're running those in here. It's a pretty neat process to have. All right, we're going to keep going, Myra. We got a couple more stops. Don't run into anything. All right, we're looping through. So it's a little darker back here, but that'll change too. So so this is barrel nut material. We make it out of a tube. So we're going to keep coming, Myra. We're going to go in here. But obviously every handguard that we make, and we make thousands of handguards, we need to have a barrel nut with it. So if you can sneak in here, Myra, I hope you can. Right, so we got a bunch of barrel nuts. So we have a couple machines doing that over here. Here, let's look inside here. Right, so we got our live axis lathe. They come off the lathe. We've done that, and the flats are on there already. So it's nice because it can run, a bar at a time. I don't know how many are in a bar, maybe 17 or something. And then we have all of our gauging and stuff here to make sure that they're good. I don't think you'll be able to necessarily be able to see all that based on where we are. But so that's, barrel nuts are a huge part of doing the handguards. And then we're going to come over here. We got to come back and see. So when it's running, and it's not running right now because it's too loud, we do tumbling. So we're going to come back here, and we'll peek in the tumbler because it was mesmerizing when it's shaking around. So the parts come back here and their stuff. So here's the ARVs, a couple of the handguards that we're running. And so once they've been tumbled, it softens all the edges so that it's not going to catch on anything. And it just makes a nice finish, matte finish to it. And when they get anodized, they get blasted anyway, but it just takes the burrs off. So if you want to come over here, Myra, we can just take a peek. Can you come in this way? Oh, you don't want to ever. So there's these stones. I think there's some ceramic. There's some other materials that we use, and this thing vibrates, and they spin around for a half hour, 45 minutes, something like that, to get the burrs and the edges off. Sometimes we have to plug features of parts when they're in there so that parts of it we don't want to get damaged by the tumbling process, but the handguards are pretty straightforward, and there's not much damage we're going to do unless we leave them in way too long, which we shouldn't do. All right, so we're going to walk around here. Now we're going to get out in the nice weather because I want to show you the extrusion that we got. So we're going to walk out here. Hopefully, we should check and make sure people can still see and hear us. Can people still see and hear us? It still says we're live. There still says there's a people there. All right, so this is all extrusion, right? So as you can tell, these are all 12-foot lengths. So there's a lot of material here. We're going to keep walking around because we're going to go in the side door. I probably shouldn't show. Should we show the outside? So we got a ton of extrusion. Myra, don't run over anything. All right, this is definitely a part that's never been on video before. So plenty of extrusion to make sure we get stuff. The lead time for extrusion is, I think, up. I hope they can still hear me. Our lead time for extrusion is like it's 70 weeks or 70 plus weeks, 72 weeks. It's a little crazy. So the reason I brought you this way is we have this extrusion stacked here. We put it on a cart and we bring it in here, and this is where, ooh, we got to catch up. All right. So we bring the extrusion right in through the side door, and this is where it goes to the saw. So it gets cut and put into the boxes that start the whole thing, right? So we got a nice saw that cuts it really parallel with the ends parallel, and it goes pretty quick compared to our old saw. So it was a huge upgrade as we did that, and now bringing in the side door, cutting it into the boxes at 25 to feed the rest of the system is pretty important. Okay? Ready, Myra? We're going to keep going this way. Try to keep me on screen as much as we can. So in here we got some of our tool room stuff, probably not suitable for prime time viewing, so we'll go pretty quickly through here. Got some packaging stuff. We're going to come in over here. So in here, let's see, we got a bunch of our parts inventory of stuff that we're doing for our Patriot displays and our BYOAR website sales. So we got pick rails, hand grips, flash cans, muzzle brakes, hand guards. While we're over here, Myra, if we want to loop around a little bit, right? So we're not running it right now on second shift, but we got our uppers. So we run billet uppers. So you can see coming off the first operation, we do a qualifying, and then we do the first operation on the horizontal. Then it goes into our fourth axis. We got a couple operations on the side that we also do. Again, pretty complicated part, a lot going on there. But it's a nice, I mean, well, it's been a good product for us to be able to run uppers and do some specialty stuff for people because we can do it in relatively low volume production also. All right, we're going to swing this way. So we'll come in, and this is where we do a lot of our retail packaging stuff. So in here, we got our boxes for our 15 and 13-inch handguards, and here's our uppers. So it's finished package, got the stickers on it, upper parts kits, lower parts kits, Picatinny rail sections, all sorts of stuff here. We build the displays that we put in the stores here, so there's actually a physical display is right in here. Myra can loop around and see that, right? So we have a display here. There's 2 of them ready to go. So as our team is down selling stuff down in New Orleans, if they sell a display, we can ship it out the next day. All right, here, Myra, we're going to keep going. We're approaching the end of the tour. We have one more really fun, well, maybe it's fun. So because we're a Department of Defense supplier, we have cybersecurity protocols. So everybody's cell phone, there's a little cubicle for their cell phone. There's a little charging device in there. So there's 96 of them. So if we get more than 96 employees, maybe we'll have to add some on. But right now, that covers us. So when everybody comes in, they put their cell phone in their cubby. It charges in there. There's a charging spot there. And then it breaks into lunch, and after work, they can come grab it and go, so that we can't have anything on any cell phones on the shop floor, because we can't have pictures taken of the confidential material that could then be immediately sent out into the internet, into the world, right? So you can see no cell phones, and so that was a big shift for us. Unfortunately, the team responded really well, and so it hasn't been a big issue. But so we have this blue line that we have to keep the cell phones behind so that we are obeying our cybersecurity protocols. All right, Myra, we're going to head back to the studio. We do actually have, so here's our little vending machine for our tooling. Pretty nice to have it. Obviously, most of the tools we use more often, those are in there. You push the button, and then we buy it when it comes out. So, all right, we'll head back to the studio. How long did that take? Oh, about 20 minutes. Not too bad. Myra's chasing me. I should do the tour guide. We're walking backwards. There's a different kind of vending machine. We didn't really need to have that on camera, but there we go. All right, so we're going to walk in here. We're going to try not to have the door hit Myra when she comes in. There we go. And then we come in another door. And then I'll get behind my little zone. Then we'll see what questions came out. Let's see. Oh, almost wiped out. I can see her. All right, you get me back? It says we're still live. That's a good sign. Let's see. Yes, we have no AC in the shop. Sorry, Russ. It's pretty warm. Oh my goodness, yes. Lisa says if Jim doesn't stop sending food pics, he's not going to be allowed to take. Watching you and our new puppy. Oh goodness, that's awesome. Grinder Hunter rails, you can get them. They're sweet. Oh, I can take this off. Not wanting to get in trouble, yes. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble, but Caleb's in the house. That's good. Let's see, still with you? Good. So much quieter in the studio, definitely. So yeah, it's a little loud out there. Sorry about that, but fun to be able to show you guys what we're doing on the shop floor, and obviously Jimmy's not here, so I don't have the capacity to do any of the other stuff he normally does in here. I don't know if you guys got any other questions. Jim will probably have to answer them for you next week. He'll be back. And I'm sure he'll talk about a bunch of the stuff that he saw down there. And I know, we talked about it on the show probably a number of weeks ago, but that a architect evolution profile, the opportunity to click on there and go through. There's a series of questions, and we'd love to have the folks, especially those of you who are regular. Yes, Caleb, you get that upper. I think Jimmy still has to build it. Going through, if you can go through and fill out that architect profile, it should be, I think it's on the homepage of the website now. I know it's definitely, there's a couple spots on the homepage where you can click through. Go through, answer the questions. It talks about, helps you see which level are you on, 1 through 5. And we want it to be a fun experience for folks, especially new folks to us, to be able to see kind of some of the stuff that you need to know and understand to go from level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So a lot of folks have already built a bunch, especially in this group, but then there's also a bunch of folks that we want to be welcoming to that don't have as much experience. The whole purpose of kind of why we got this all started was Jimmy's willingness and desire to help folks get into the shooting sports without having a lot of judgment or ridicule for not knowing stuff, right? So the opportunity for us to do that, to set folks up for success. Love to have you go through and provide some feedback on the process, and any suggestions of other questions or stuff, especially of guys like Russ who built so many of them they can't remember them all. Going through that profile sheet, it's kind of a profile quiz, and see what's there. And give us some feedback on it. So there's a spot to do that. We'll leave that up here for the first couple of weeks as people are filling it in, just to give us some feedback on the process. So I think that's about it for today. So hopefully you enjoy the look in the shop, and we'll have Jimmy back here next week. So I'll be behind the camera instead of in front of it, and that'll suit me better actually also. So thanks for joining us. And I don't know that Jim's going to go live down there, but I know he'll bring back some photos other than food, Lisa, and some experiences to share as he talks to the folks down there. So remember, you don't have to be an expert to build your own AR to upgrade it or maintain it, and we're here to help you do that. Thanks so much. Have a great week.